A tragic mistake. That is what the Pentagon said after admitting a U.S. drone strike actually killed 10 Afghan civilians, including 7 children. This, of course, was after calling it a righteous strike on an ISIS fighter and necessary to prevent an attack on U.S. troops. Well, here's what the head of U.S. General Command, General Kenneth McKenzie, told reporters Friday.
Having thoroughly reviewed the findings of the investigation and the supporting analysis by interagency partners, I am now convinced that as many as 10 civilians, including up to 7 children, were tragically killed in that strike. Moreover, we now assess that it is unlikely that the vehicle and those who died were associated with ISIS-K or were a direct threat to U.S. forces.
Well, joining us now, Washington insider Armstrong Williams. Armstrong, good morning.
Good morning.
Some consequences now as a result of this, and of course, President Biden's over-the-horizon counterterrorism strategy. What I found interesting, though, was how the Pentagon kept doubling down on their false claims. Your own sources told you what really happened there weeks ago. So why would the Pentagon and the White House continue with the other narrative? How did you know and they not know?
Well, listen, war and conflict is a place of confusion. It was unintentional. They were hoping to take out ISIS-K, but our sources on the ground immediately called us and shared video of the debris of the innocent children and their families. They knew, and what General McKenzie should have just done, Jan, is just apologize for their carelessness and the pain and loss that they had caused. They should have just said that we're in touch with the local mosque and will compensate the family under the Sharia law for their loss. There should have been no excuses, no explanation why it happened, take full responsibility, and just shut up. And so the Afghans would have respected that, and it would have removed what they call this blood of oath of retaliation in kind. After 20 years in this country, the American General Corps still doesn't understand Islam as a religion and a way of life there. Sharia governs behavior and actions, good and bad. And the problem is not so much that innocent lives were taken, because that happens. It's the fact they knew it was just a pathological lie, and they doubled down and kept doubling down. And they were saying, oh my God, they disrespect our families, they disrespect our life. While they're just putting this lie out there to make Biden and his people look good, as if as a result of the 13 deaths of the Marines, we retaliated and took out ISIS-K. Let me just say this. No members of the leadership of ISIS-K died. It was innocent civilians that they're now finally taking responsibility for.
So do you think we could potentially see a retaliation to this due to this error that they made? And also, how does this further impact President Biden's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan?
You know, let's be clear. They are monsters too. And they're killing innocent Americans without any regard for life. They really don't have the moral high ground. And because they don't have the moral high ground and they look for excuses to justify their behavior without any integrity or any consideration for character, they will take a situation like this and further their desire to take out Americans, Afghans that supported Americans over the last 20 years. Again, their bar for morality and being fair and just is very low. We don't look to them as an example. We must set the example. We must always be the bar. And we will continue to perpetrate this lie for the last several weeks. We become no better than they are.
Yeah, you mentioned General McKenzie. What he should have done was just said this was a mistake, apologize, and that the U.S. would consider reparation payments to those surviving family members. He did mention that also on Friday, but admitted it's going to be hard to issue payments since the U.S. is no longer in Afghanistan. How would that work?
Let me tell you this. The fact that General McKenzie has mentioned it, Jan, it has probably already been done. They don't have to be in Afghanistan. They still have allies from other countries on the ground there. They know how to work the system. They have CIA and intelligence on the ground. They already know that they had to compensate this family, try to make them whole, because money and materialism really mattered, especially after shutting the banks down. The fact that he's mentioning it, he's giving you a signal of what has already happened, not that they're trying to figure it out. It's probably already done.
All right, Armstrong Williams, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.